तो क्या हाल चाल है दोस्तों, स्वागत है फिर से एक बार आप सभी लोगों का बॉडी बिल्डिंग अपडेटेड में आर्नोल्ड क्लासिक 2026 से जुड़े कुछ और लेटेस्ट एंड फास्टेस्ट अपडेट में लेके आ चुका हूं। आज की इस वीडियो के अंदर हम लोग देखने वाले हैं रॉनी कोलमैन एंड जे कटलर की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस जो कि आर्नोल्ड क्लासिक 2026 के दौरान हुई थी। तो सब्सक्राइब भी कर लेना बॉडी बिल्डिंग अपडेटेड को, बिकॉज आर्नोल्ड क्लासिक 2026 से जुड़े सारे के सारे अपडेट, सबसे पहले अपडेट फास्ट टू फास्ट मैं आप लोगों को प्रोवाइड करा रहा हूँ इसी चैनल पे। तो सब्सक्राइब कर लेना एंड बेल नोटिफिकेशन को भी ऑल पे प्रेस कर लेना। आप लोग वीडियो को एंजॉय करो, मिलता हूं मैं वीडियो के लास्ट में।
Please welcome the king, the greatest of all time, 8-time Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman! Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for the king himself, King Ronnie Coleman! All right, now you all may be seated. To take adversity and not only turn it into a positive, but reinvent yourself over and over and over again. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, and I'm going to be very candid about this. This man right here, this legend right here, Ronnie Coleman, suffered a major health crisis earlier this year. A life-threatening health crisis earlier this year. But in typical Ronnie fashion, here he is in front of you with that zillion-dollar smile on his face and ready to share with you that love, that passion for bodybuilding and all that it stands for. So a round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen, for the king, Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie, you see your adoring fans, and they know everything that you've been through because, look, now in the era of social media, and to credit to both of you, you've been so good about being very transparent about your life, about details of your life, about what you're going through. And with you, Ronnie, we all saw what you went through. But here you are right now, and you see how everyone here, eyes locked on you, nobody's staring at their phone, they're hanging on to your every word. What does that mean to you?
That means God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. That's what it pretty means to me. I'm also coming out with a new creatine here. We got creatine flavors, you know. Something never done before.
Whoa. We go
Dragon
from
fruit splash.
this touching moment about you to creatine.
I thought we was introducing our new product.
We can.
We can. I didn't know we
can
were
talk about it.
I didn't know we were doing
Tell us more about the creatine adventure from the Ronnie Coleman signature line.
We got creatine flavors, you know. We got Dragon Fruit Splash, Sour Galaxy, and Cotton Candy Crush. And this is a new product we are releasing next week sometime. I just want everybody to know that because these people have supported me many years. As a matter of fact, this is my 32nd Arnold Classic. I've had 8 back surgeries, 3 hip surgeries, maybe 4, 3 neck surgeries, and I've never, ever missed the Arnold Classic. As a matter of fact, I came straight from the hospital some years ago, straight from the hospital to the Arnold Classic. So the hospital couldn't even hold me down. As you were saying a few minutes ago, you know, I suffered a major health crisis about 8 months ago. I was doing a seminar in, I think it was Milwaukee, and out of nowhere, you know, sepsis tried to take a brother out, but even sepsis couldn't hold me down. And when sepsis couldn't take me out, you know, I had this bad heart tried to take me out. That couldn't take me out either because God is good.
You know, Jay, I think it was a couple of years ago that you received the Lifetime Achievement Award here at the Arnold Classic, and you made it a point to mention what Ronnie meant to you, not only as a bodybuilder, but really as a man. And we will talk about the rivalry and everything during your bodybuilding career, but you look at how Ronnie approaches life now. During your bodybuilding career, as much inspiration as you drew for him then, do you look at the way that he's pushing through now and still draw inspiration from Ronnie Coleman now in this stage of your life and business?
You know, and when I first started picking up bodybuilding books, which was the only way that we could actually witness what this was all about, I saw pictures of Ronnie Coleman. So he was a big inspiration on my journey, me being about 10 years younger than Ronnie. So when I was able to, you know, build up the rivalry and of course, you know, use people as kind of motivation, you know, that just triggered me even more. But we all look for inspiring figures that maybe have a story or, you know, we compare ourselves to or we strive to be. And I mean, we're here at the Arnold Classic. Of course, Arnold in the films, by the time I was a teenager, he was a huge figure in my mind. So I had a lot of inspiring people, but you know, when you become, you know, a witness of greatness, and Ronnie was one of those persons that at the time when I was coming up, he was winning titles already. I just wanted to really be someone like that. So when I was able to stand next to him and then battle it out, of course I wanted to win, but I still had a lot of respect for what he did and what he carried. And Ronnie's personality tells a lot. We traveled extensively together over the years. We did have a very strong rivalry. We both wanted to win, and I feel like we both had confidence that we could both be the champion. Ronnie happened to get it a few more times than me in those battles. But it took a minute, and then Ronnie got a little older, and I was able to overcome father time on his side, and I actually took the title from him.
Yeah, buddy.
You know, we talk about the rivalry. Tell us a little bit more about you two trained together. You ate together. There are so many things that you learned about not only Ronnie Coleman, but what it takes to truly be an apex predator at the top of a sport. If you could share some of those stories, some of the little things, bodybuilding related, life related, success related, that you saw from the 8-time champion.
I can tell you, we would fly to events on the weekend, and Ronnie Coleman would fly on the plane with his tights on already and ready to train. So he'd walk through the airport with his tights, and everyone knows when Ronnie wore his tights, you could see the veins through his tights, and everyone in the airport would be stopping and looking at Ronnie, and he'd be like, okay, where's the gym? Didn't matter what time we got in, whether it was, you know, 5 o'clock in the afternoon or midnight, gyms were shutting down for us to train. And I believe, I think Fridays were Ronnie's leg days, and he would be like in the corner squatting 600-700 pounds. I stop at 400 pounds, and everyone would be like, you have to squat more in order to beat Ronnie Coleman. No, I said, no, I just gotta wait for him to get older. But we would train, we'd eat together. Ronnie ate as much as I ate, which was anytime anyone wanted to buy us any food, pretty much. So it was a hesitation for a lot of the guest appearance people to bring us in because the food budget was astronomical. Ronnie would order double steak all the time. It was a lot to feed us.
Yeah, those were the good old days, and I wouldn't trade them for nothing in the world. Because like I said, like Jay said, soon as I got off the plane, no matter how many hours I would fly for like 16, 17 hours to Australia. The first thing I'm looking forward to when I get off the plane is where's the nearest gym. Training has been, you know, my life pretty much. I've been doing it now for about 50 years. I started when I was about 12 years old. I'll be 62 in 2 months. And it's something that I got a lot of passion for. You know what they say about passion? As long as you got passion for something, you never work a day in your life. And people used to always ask me, how did I work full-time for the police department and train each and every single day? I just tell them, hey, I had a lot of passion for working for the police department, and I had a lot of passion for training each and every single day. So every morning I got up, I looked forward to going to the gym and working out. And when I got through working out, I looked forward to going to work so I can kick some ass. Yeah, buddy.
You know, Ronnie, you always remember your first Mr. Olympia. You remember exactly the moment you heard your name, the moment your hand was raised, the moment the confetti fell from the sky. And then there comes a moment where you have to defend your title and then do it again and again and again. When you look at what Jay did to push you, how much did that force you to up the ante in terms of the training, in terms of the motivation, the desire to stay atop and defend this young buck off?
You know what, I hear that a lot, but I always tell people that my biggest competitor was always me. I ain't got nothing against Jay and nobody else on that stage, but every time up there, I'm trying to outdo what I did the year before and the year before that. So my biggest competitor was always me because I'm always trying to outdo what I did the year before. And that's why, you know, I trained hard as I possibly could each and every single day. And I was saying I had the passion to do it, and it was something that I looked forward to back then, and I'm still training 6 days a week, you know, so working out is something I'll do till the day I die.
Ronnie, you look in this crowd, and the one thing that bonds everybody here in this room, we train.
Oh yeah.
We go to the gym.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, some of us train more hardcore or less hardcore than the other. What do you say to everybody here that there are gonna be those days where you just don't have it? You're just not feeling it. How do you push through and get it done?
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news and say this, but when you got passion for something like I do, there was never a bad day. So, because like I said, I'm looking forward to going and training each and every single day. Every time I get up, each and every single day, even when I'm on the road, you know, traveling all over the world, the first thing I look forward to doing is when I get off the plane is where the nearest gym, because like I said, you have passion for something, you never work a day in your life. And for me, you know, I'm a little bit different specimen. So training is what God put me here to do, I guess.
Jay, when you reflect back upon your career and your reign atop the bodybuilding mountain, and really your about decade-long top, you know, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, how much of that do you credit to Ronnie in terms of, if Ronnie was never in the picture, would you have put yourself that hard?
Oh yeah, he's a champion.
You know, even when I was placing almost dead last at the Olympia, I was still thinking I was going to stand next to Ronnie. I mean, I truly believed in myself from day one. I loved what I did. Like Ronnie said, I still travel and look for the nearest gym after everything. I think Ronnie definitely gave me motivation because he had the one position that I wanted. And I loved the challenge. I loved that the show was always built around our battle, but there were a lot of other guys that I was trying to fend off at the same time. But a lot of guys I admired. I mean, we sit up here as two greats in the history of bodybuilding because we did a 1-2 battle forever, it seemed like, but it went by so fast. I mean, that's the one thing I can tell you guys. The time, it goes by every single year, because once I was defeated, I really wanted to, okay, I want another shot at Ronnie, and we had to wait a whole year to do that because he wasn't competing at any other shows. Where I was coming over here and winning Arnold Classics in between, I did that 3 years in a row, and then I turned that into, you know, chasing down him at the Olympia. And like I said, I look forward to those battles, but I look forward to all the new rivals also. And, you know, the media really kind of created as much buzz as they could, but in the end, all I really gave a shit about was to beat him. That's it.
So then when you finally do overcome Ronnie, Now again, I asked Ronnie the same question. You win that first title, and in your case, you defeated your idol. You remember everything about that moment. What kept that fire lit to repeat and eventually win 4 titles?
I mean, listen, I was second him until I won, so of course I was like, okay, I'm over the hurdle. Now I have to challenge myself, and that became a little challenging because there was no one that had the physique like he did that I stood up against for the rest of my career. And, you know, I kind of missed it, to be honest, a little bit. And, you know, we had pushed ourselves to be the biggest, baddest on stage. We trained the heaviest, we ate the most. We created this whole aura of the size and the conditioning. And obviously, I still feel even today, there's no one that's pushed the size and the conditioning further than Ronnie Coleman. That's why we are, you know, sometimes people question who is the GOAT of bodybuilding, but this man pushed the physique to the level that no one ever has and still has not. So we have to give that respect, although Lee Haney won 8. I mean, Phil Heath won 7, Arnold Schwarzenegger won 7. There's so many great physiques, but this is the biggest, baddest physique, and I was able to beat his ass.
All right, now
Yeah,
both of you talked about eating and the diets. I have to know, because there was a story about you, Jay, where 140 eggs a day? What was, at the peak of your powers, what was your typical diet like?
I ate 30 egg whites at a time. So, and I used to crack all those eggs. Anyone that knows, anyone that's trying to put on size or stay in some sort of condition, we ate multiple times a day. And I'd buy a whole cow at a time, 30 dozen eggs at a time. You know, I was eating up to 4 pounds of meat a day, 1,000 grams of carbs a day. We were just basically eating and going to the bathroom all day.
Ronnie, what was at the peak of your reign at top bodybuilding, what did your diet look like? I heard about the 2 steaks every meal.
Well, my diet was pretty simple. I was eating 600 grams of protein a day, so I'm taking in 100 grams of carbs with each meal. And I remember my nutritionist first told me I needed to eat 600 grams and 6 meals a day, and I'm like, dude, I can only fit 5 meals in a day. And he was like, well, you're gonna have to get up in the middle of the night and eat a meal. I'm like, yeah, right, that ain't gonna never happen. But little did I know he was serious, so I had to get up in the middle of the night and eat a meal and go back to bed. So I would go to bed every night about 4 a.m., you know, just after work and everything. I would get up at 7, eat my first meal of the day, which was grits and a protein shake, something simple. And I would go back to bed from like 7 to 8, and I would get up at 8, get up at 11, and do my first treadmill of the day. And after that, I would have my second meal of the day. So eating was a full-time job, and 600 grams of protein is a lot of protein.
Yeah, but you dripped it in barbecue sauce, don't lie.
No, I only had 2 protein meals. The rest was food. I was eating 100 grams of chicken, 100 grams of steak, of 100 grams of like turkey. You know, then it was chicken again, and then I had my 2 protein shakes of 100 grams.
So just to kind of give you all some perspective, this is one of those don't try this at home sort of scenarios. This man had more barbecue sauce in one sitting that probably all of you have in a week. This man ate more carbs in one day than you all have in probably a month. There is a term. It is called genetic freak. You're looking at them right. Let me ask you.
You know, I wasn't as lucky as Jay. I was only able to take in 125 grams of carbs a day. So
hit the trademark one stomp. Everybody up on their feet. Here we go, Jay. The stage is yours. The signature moment. Here we go.
yeah, buddy.
You gotta get a little louder than that. Columbus, what do we think?
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go.
तो गाइस आज की इस वीडियो के अंदर तो सिर्फ इतनी अपडेट्स थे। सब्सक्राइब कर लेना बॉडी बिल्डिंग अपडेटेड को। आर्नोल्ड क्लासिक 2026 से जुड़े सारे के सारे अपडेट्स सबसे पहले देखने एंड जानने के लिए, वो भी एक अच्छी वीडियो क्वालिटी के अंदर। सो आप लोग सब्सक्राइब कर लेना। मिलता हूं मैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो के साथ में, तब तक के लिए बाय गाइस।